Hello students, let us try to understand the structure of proteins. Dear student, the protein is having the so many types of structure like primary structure, secondary structure and tertiary structure that we have to understand in this lecture. Right student? So see student that I have taken the NCERT book student, that is you can be able to understand from this book also. So it is there and you have already read that protein are the polymers of alpha amino acids and they are connected to each other by peptide bond. Okay, peptide linkage, either you say peptide bond is student or peptide bond. So that is how the peptide bond is student form, that is CONH bond is known as peptide bond. It will come again student, let us see. Chemically, peptide linkage is the amide, is an amide formed between the COOH group and NH2 group. Okay, the reaction between two molecules of the similar or different amino acid proceeds through the combination of amino group of the one molecule with the carboxylic group of other. This results in the elimination of water molecule and formation of peptide bond. Okay, so let us see up to here what we study student. Suppose we are having student, what is their amino acid, right? Here is COOH group is there student, and here is NH2, downside R, upside H. Again molecule, one more molecule you see student, that is NH2 molecule student, and here is H and downside R, and there is here is student NH2 COOH. Right student, this is the COOH group. So dear student, when the chemical reactions are taking place student, when the chemical reactions are taking place, so from there H and here is S2 is no not H2 actually. Okay student, wait, let me erase this student. Hmm. So here is COOH is there and here is what NH2. So what I am saying is student, that is here is NH2 is there, NH2 I am writing in the different way student. How I am writing, you can check it out student, that is I am writing H in the open structure, N is there, here is H and here is also H. So dear student, here is O and here is H, right? So this is what student, minus H2O is coming out, minus H2O. So what is the answer? C, here is there H, here is R, here is what student, CO, right? Here is N, H, and here is also water molecule lost. Here is what is left student, already OH is gone. So what is left? N and H is left. Here is C, upside H, downside R, and here is CO. Okay, this is like that, COO, this is N time. So dear student, this is what is, this is what is known as CONS bond is known as, this is peptide linkage, this is what is known as peptide linkage, right student? Now you see student, another point, the product of the reactions is called the dipeptide because it is made up of two amino acid. For example, when the carboxylic group of glycine combined with the amino group of alanine, we get a dipeptide. Okay, no, so you are whenever that is two monopeptide, two amino acids are getting combined, they are forming the peptide bond. Okay, and which is known as dipeptide, right student? If a third amino acid combined to a dipeptide, the product is called tripeptide. Okay, a tripeptide contains three amino acid linked by two peptide linkage. Similarly, when 4, 5, 6 amino acid link, the respective products is known as tetrapeptide, pentapeptide or hexapeptide respectively. When the numbers of such amino acid is more than 10, then the products are called, that is polypeptide. Then the products are called polypeptide. A polypeptide with more than 100 amino acid residue having molecular mass higher than the 10,000 unit is called the protein. Okay, another you read out once more student. A polypeptide with more than 100, more than 10,000, polypeptide more than 100 amino acid residue having molecular mass higher than 10,000 unit is called protein. However, the distinction between polypeptide and protein is not very sharp. Polypeptide with the fewer amino acid are likely to be called the proteins if they ordinarily have a well wait student well defined conformation, have the well defined conformation of the protein such as insulin, which contain 51 amino acid. Okay, protein can be classified into two types on the basis of their molecular shapes. Okay, so what are the two types, student? First one is the fibrous protein, dear student. Fibrous protein, when you are talking, when the polypeptide chain run parallel, okay, and held together by hydrogen and disulfide bond, okay, hydrogen and disulfide bond, then fiber like structure is formed. Such proteins are generally insoluble in water. Some common examples are the keratin, present in hair, wool, silk, and myosin, present in muscles, etc. Next one is a student, that is a globular protein. Okay, so here if you talk about that is, again you can read out, student, some student, fibrous proteins are run, parallelly they run, student, and there is hydrogen bond and disulfide bond. Okay, and fiber like structure is formed. Such protein are generally insoluble in water, fibrous protein insoluble in water. Some common examples are, what is there, keratin, present in the hair, wool, silk, and myosin, present in the muscles. Okay, next point you see, student, globular protein. So globular protein, this structure results when the chain of polypeptide coil around to give the spherical shape. These are usually soluble in water. Insulin and albumins are the common example of the globular protein. Okay, so when you're talking about globular protein, student, they are what, student, results when the chain of polypeptide or coils. Okay, so coiling structure is there around to give spherical shape. Okay, so this is what is globular protein. These are usually soluble in water, like insulin, albumin are common example of globular protein. Structure and the shape of protein can be studied at four different levels, that is primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure, each level being more complex than the previous one. So first one is primary structure of protein, that we have to understand what do we mean by primary structure of protein, dear students. If you want to understand the primary structure of protein, so proteins may have one or more polypeptide chain. Each polypeptide in protein has amino acid linked with each other in a specific sequence. It is the sequence of amino acid. Okay, it is the sequence of amino acid that is said to be primary structure of protein. Any change in the primary structure, the sequence of amino acid, creates a different proteins. Okay, so that is what the primary structures of protein is saying, that it is the sequence of amino acid, student, that is particular sequence of amino acid. If you are changing the sequence of amino acid, the protein structure will be damaged. Okay, next one is secondary structure of proteins, student. What is the secondary structure of proteins? Refer to the shape in which a long polypeptide chain can exist. Okay, so secondary structure is referring to the shape, while primary structure is referring to the sequence of amino acid. They are found to exist in two different type of structure, that is alpha helix and beta pleated sheet structure. These structures arise due to the regular folding of the backbone of the polypeptides. Okay, polypeptide chain, due to the hydrogen bonding CO and NH group to the peptide. So that is in the secondary structure, they are saying alpha helix. Okay, they, they found to exist in two different type of structure, that is alpha helix and beta pleated sheet structure. Okay, these structure arise due to the regular folding of the backbone of the polypeptide chain due to the hydrogen bond between CO and NH group of the polypeptide. Okay, next point, they are saying alpha helix is one of the most common way in which a polypeptide chain form all possible hydrogen bond by existing into two right handed screw helix with the NH group of each amino acid residue. Hydrogen bonded to the CO of the adjacent turn of the helix as shown in figure 14.1. Okay. In beta structure, all peptide chain are stretched out nearly maximum extension and then laid side by side, which are held together by the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, the structure resembles the pleated fold of the deep prairie and therefore is known as beta sheet structure. Dear student, it may be difficult for you for the beta pleated structure. Let me teach you again. Okay, let me explain you again for this beta structure. What they are saying, student, in a beta structure of all peptide chain are stretched out nearly the maximum extension and laid side by side, which are held together by intermolecular hydrogen bond. The structure resembles a pleated fold, drapery, and therefore known as beta sheet structure. Okay, beta sheet structure. So that is, here is beta pleated sheet structure, student, where what is happening, these are they are coiling each other, they are stretching, very close to each other. So that is what beta pleated structure. Next one is what? Tertiary structure of protein. Okay, tertiary structure of protein. So if we talk about tertiary structure of protein, the tertiary structure of protein represents overall folding of the polypeptide chain, that is further folding of the secondary structure. It gives rise to the two major molecular shape, that is fibrous and globular. The main force which stabilize the 2 degree and 3 degree structures of protein are hydrogen bond. Okay, so whatever they stabilizing the 2 degree and 3 degree structure, that is what is known as hydrogen bond. Disulfide linkage, van der Waal and electrostatic force of attraction is also present there. Okay, here you read out the again, that is secondary structure of protein, student. It can be little difficult to you. Okay, so how can you be able to understand the second tertiary structure of protein, student? Because primary structure we studied, that is its sequence of the amino acid, while the secondary structure we said that is shape of the amino acid. Now tertiary structure, they are saying the tertiary structure of protein represent overall folding of the polypeptide chain. Okay, overall folding. Further folding of the secondary structure, that is it give rise to major molecular shape, that is fibrous and globular protein. Means in the tertiary structure, if there is a more folding, which give rise to type of structure, student, that is fibrous and globular protein. The main force which stabilize the 2 degree and 3 degree structure of proteins are the hydrogen bonds, disulfide linkage, van der Waal, and electrostatic force of attractions are there. Finally, we have to understand quaternary structure of protein. Quaternary. Some of the proteins are the composed of two or more polypeptide chains referred to as subunits. The spatial arrangement of the spatial arrangement no arise subunits which repeat which respect to each other is known as quaternary structure. Okay, protein, right, student, that is proteins are composed of two or more polypeptide chains referred to as the subunit. The spatial arrangement of these subunits with respect to each other is known as quaternary structures, right? See, student, a diagrammatic representation of all these four structure is given below in the 14.3, which where each colored ball represent an amino acid. So it's in this image, I think it's not. See, student, this is first structure is representing what the primary structure, and there is single folding shape, they are saying, student, this is saying secondary structure. Up in this secondary structure, this is again folding is there, student, again folding you see. So helical structure they are forming tertiary structure. It is also this result in the globular protein and fibrous protein. And last one is quaternary structure. If you talk about the quaternary structure, student, so you can read out the again quaternary structure, student. Some of the proteins are composed of two or more polypeptide chain referred to as subunits. The spatial arrangement of these subunits with respect to each other is known as quaternary structure. So dear student, here see one chain is there, here is two chain is there, somewhere three chain. So more than no more chains are there, that results in the quaternary structure, student. So here is also they have given primary structure of proteins are there here, then a secondary structure is here, then tertiary structure and quaternary structures are there, that you can understand. Here is the denaturation of protein, student. This is also very important topic for the board point of view. Let us have the look on it, student. That is protein found in the biological system with a unique three-dimensional structure and biological activity is called the native protein. Okay, so if it is having the unique structure, unique native structure, that is what is known as a student native protein. Okay, a protein found in the biological system with a unique three-dimensional structure. It is having the unique three-dimensional structure and having the biological activity is called the native protein. When a protein in its native form is subjected to physical change like change in temperature or chemical change like change in pH, the hydrogen bonds are disturbed. Due to this, globule unfold and helix get uncoiled. Okay, the protein loses its biological activity. This activity is called denaturation. It means when the protein is losing its the biological activity, student, that is what is known as denaturation, student. If it is not denatured, student, it is having the unique characteristic, but when you are heating or changing the pH, its nature get destroyed, student, which is known as denaturation of protein. Now next point is there, student. Protein during the denaturation 2 degree and 3 degree structure are destroyed, but 1 degree structure remain intact. Okay. So in denaturation, student, secondary and tertiary structure is destroyed, but the sequence of amino acid, or you can say 1 degree structure, primary structure remain the same. Okay. The coagulation of egg white on building is a common example of denaturation. A coagulation of egg white on building is the common example of denaturation. Another example is curding of the milk, which is caused due to the formation of lactic acid by the bacteria is present in the milk. That is also the denaturation. So this is all about the protein, student. So we will next video lecture we will try to have the looks on the enzyme, student. So I hope this will be helpful, student. Try to learn from it. Thank you so much for watching, friends.